and also, as I mentioned, to increase sports performance. There's three reasonably famous people who've done very well. The big guy here is Con Burrell. He was a New Zealand All Black in the mid to late 1980s. He lost his place in the All Blacks because of his chronic asthma. At that stage he was on 20 milligrams of prednisolone and 4 nebulizers per day. Subsequently did the Buteyko course, got off all his drugs and won his place back in the All Blacks. And he was obviously delighted with that, and he did a huge amount of publicity for Buteyko in New Zealand. This guy is Raman Anderson. He won a bronze medal for Australia in the 1992 Olympics in the K4 kayak. 2 years after that, his chronic fatigue syndrome was so bad that he was not able to train at all, bedridden. Subsequently did the Buteyko course, got back into full training, went to the 96 Olympics for Australia, came 5th. No one ever remembers him because he didn't win a medal, but a fantastic effort after having chronic fatigue. And this guy is Craig Riddington, an Ironman based in Sydney. He did the Buteyko course, he got off all his asthma drugs and greatly improved his performance. He was featured on an SBS documentary, the TV program Second Opinion. And it's an interesting one. I've actually got it on tape. We actually look at some of the TV documentaries and current affairs segments just to look at some case studies of people who'd learnt Buteyko and also to back up and reinforce some of the things that we're learning in the course. And the presenter of the show, when Craig Riddington was involved, he had asthma himself and he ended up doing the Buteyko course also, and he was able to report on his improvement at the end. So if you're interested in sports performance, it's very good news. What you find is that after you've corrected your breathing with Buteyko, you're able to do a lot more on a lot less breath, and that means you've got a lot more in reserve. This is how you're able to improve your performance in time. And you also find if you're doing any endurance work like long distance running or a lot of bike riding or swimming, people often find after they do something very strenuous that they're very sore in their muscles the next day. They've got this muscle fatigue. And what you find once you've corrected your breathing with Buteyko and you're able to do endurance sports with your mouth closed, you just don't get that soreness. And the reason is that if you're over-breathing, if you're mouth breathing under duress in exercise, remember you're getting this tightening of the bond between the oxygen and the haemoglobin, you have a very high energy demand but you can't meet it. So in order to meet that extra demand, what happens is that your body will break down glycogen. But once you're breathing correctly with Buteyko and you're getting maximum oxygenation from your blood, there's no need for the body to break down the glycogen. So you don't get that fatigue and you find that your performance increases greatly.